I'm not exactly a veteran when it comes to anime, but in my 3 years exploring the medium, I've watched a fair share, and recently, after binging over 200 shows, I decided to explore the weekly seasonals. This was summer of 2023, and I wasn't really a fan. However, after my take on the summer season being mid, somebody told me that this season isn't bad, you are. Just watch the right shows, dweeb. So, you know what, Mr. Goku SSJ69? Fine. Since I apparently don't know how to choose the right shows, I'll just have to watch all of them. Before you ask, I will give you the answer, no. I do not have a life. I did have to ask myself beforehand though, is there really anything to be enthusiastic about here? Like, based on how anime went in the summer, it's completely possible that this season just doesn't have a gem in it. Oh. Sosou No Frieren, or Frieren Beyond Journey's End, is genuinely one of the most beautiful shows I've ever seen. The animation, designs, music, story, literally everything about it can only be defined as beautiful. The scenery draws you in and makes you part of this remarkable fantasy world where we live life through the eyes of a near-immortal elf. Basically, if you haven't heard of it already, Sosou No Frieren is an adventure anime about an elf named Frieren, but it isn't like the average adventure anime. It's not like she's on a journey with a hero to vanquish the demon lord and save the world, because she did that already. In what seemed to be a blink of an eye for her, a 10-year journey that changed the course of the world ended, as she separated from the party for just a little while to do her own thing. When she returns, the hero that slayed the Demon King was an old man, soon after dying of natural causes. After her companions drop like flies around her, she's left only with regret, wondering why she couldn't have spent more time with them as she goes on her journey to understand humans and create true personal connections. This show has everything you could ask for, and you can tell that the animators are passionate about this project just based on how beautiful it is. If you only watch one show this season, it should be Sosou No Frieren. However, if you're willing to watch more than one, here's the Apothecary Diaries. I was honestly scared that this one wouldn't meet my expectations because manga readers kept hyping it up to me, but I'm glad to say it definitely lives up to the standards that they set. It's incredibly stunning visually, and the story is just really fun. This is without a doubt one of the best shows this season. Taking place in Imperial China, an apothecary named Mao Mao was taken away to the central palace of the emperor to work for him. By the way, if you're wondering what an apothecary is, it is a person who prepares and sells drugs. Hopefully medical ones. Anyways, in the process of doing her apothecary duties, she climbed the ranks, displaying her knowledge on various scales in the palace, saving lives with her medicine and ability to identify poisons, as well as her impressive deductive capabilities. Speaking of deductive capabilities, our favorite scientist is back for another season of Dr. Stone. Spy X Family Season 2 is here. The slow-burning relationship is possibly, maybe, speeding up. Not sure. Rising Up the Shield Hero Season 3 is holding me using the sunk cost fallacy despite being just as trash as Season 2. Eminence In Shadow Season 2 I'll talk about later, but first I have something to apologize for. If I didn't see Season 1 of a show, I didn't watch the sequel season, so technically I didn't watch every anime this season. Come on now, it's not like I had time to watch a season of Goblin Slayer, a season and a half of Ancient Magus Bride, part 1 of Death Mount Deathplay, rewatch a season of Tokyo Revengers because I was asleep during it. There's literally no way to keep up with all those seasonals if I decided to watch the prior seasons as well. Wait a minute. Alright, so after I saw Girlfriend Season 2 was airing, I arbitrarily decided to do the same thing I did with Rent-A-Girlfriend in the summer. Decide not to watch it and save myself from the pain and suffering of the brain rot that is both of those anime? Of course not, I binged it all. Do I have regrets? Nope. It's not like I could have chosen a better show like Goblin Slayer to watch the first season of so that I could keep up with that Season 2 instead. Or maybe I could have watched a different romance anime like Kimi no Todoke that has been sitting on my plan to watch list for forever. Or literally anything else instead of rotting my brain to this? No, I have no regrets. None at all. Okay, let's find something to cleanse me of that brain rot. Aw, this one's wholesome. Stardust Telepath is probably one of the most underrated shows this season solely because it's just such a breath of fresh air. The season's full of such heavy hitters, sometimes we've gotta remember to just enjoy some cute girls doing cute things anime. You know, casually hanging out, growing closer together, building rockets, it's just a lot of fun. Basically, one of the characters either is or isn't an alien, but she wants to go to space, so they're building a rocket to go to space. That's about it. That's the plot. It's simple, and it's honestly a really fun way to just get away from it all. Plus, the main character's got social anxiety, so basically, don't fight me on this. It's this season's Boshu the Rock. Bouncing over to the isekai realm, as promised, Eminence In Shadow Season 2. Honestly, I thought Season 1 was overrated, but now that I'm in Season 2, I think I'm slowly starting to understand the appeal it has. It's just so ridiculously edgy that it becomes satirical, and it's so satirical that it loops back to being actually cool. I know that making a show so bad that it's good is a thing, but I've never seen it done on purpose, like with Eminence In Shadow. As for new isekai this season, surprisingly enough, defying all odds, we got a good one. Shangri-La Frontier is one of the most fun basic isekais I've seen. It's got a similar concept to Sword Art Online, with the other world being a video game, and honestly, despite having no life-threatening stakes, it kind of ends up being a better version of that first arc that we love. Basically, the protagonist, Sunraku, specializes in playing these really poorly constructed video games with a ton of glitches and poor programming, but after beating a ton of these trash games, he decided to dive into his first actually good game, Shangri-La Frontier, where he shatters everything using the skill he acquired from mastering countless glitchy games. I think that one of the greatest qualities of the show is that it creates a genuinely fun-looking game. One of the concepts I really liked is that NPCs are supposed to be super interactive AIs that, instead of being annoying, are actually helpful. I mean, if I could hear an NPC's voice in Genshin Impact, especially Paimon, and not immediately cringe, that would be my reason for reinstalling the game. Oh god, help me. Anyway, Shangri-La Frontier ain't anything insane, but it's got really nice looking animation, a fun story, and it's just overall entertaining. It's definitely one of the best video game anime I've seen. Although, about video game anime, yeah, we have Shangri-La Frontier this season, but don't let yourself sleep on Protocol Rain, okay? So basically, this anime is actually an esports anime, so the main character is on an esports team. I've gotta say, something that really makes Protocol Rain stand out from the rest of the bunch is its beautiful visuals for the gaming. Look at this, it's actually super well made. Look, it's so clean. Oh, wait, sorry, no, here's the correct one. Oh. Anyways, the story is like totally great, okay? Basically, the main character was really good at gaming, but he had to quit gaming for his sister's health after she got into an accident because of his gaming, but he decided to start gaming again to fix somebody else's financial problems. The daughter of the person with financial trouble is a girl that the main character is known for a while who also does gaming, and she's also the love interest, because that's the most realistic thing for an esports anime to have. A love interest. You know what's more realistic though, right? Two love interests. I swear, someone's gotta tell me how these guys do it. The way that this many girls are able to fawn over such unremarkable guys in anime is beyond me. Like, seriously, this anime has 2. Girlfriend has 4. What now? Oh god. Okay, unlike Protocol Rain, this one's actually pretty good. See, an anime called 100 Girlfriends Who Really Love You sounds like the most stupid thing humanity has ever created. So the author took it and went, alright, bet. And then he made a full-on comedy harem that, despite being an absolute fever dream, is actually funny. But more funny than the actual jokes is that the relationships between each and every one of the girls is actually well written. The show is currently at 5, and as far as I know, the manga just passed 25 and is going strong. I have no clue how the writer plans on making sure that a goat Rentaro is able to share the love with that number as it keeps going, but honestly, I'm looking forward to the future of this show. Obviously, it's not for beginners to anime for a few reasons, and it's a tad unconventional when it comes to the romance aspect, but it's fine. We've got some other anime to cover that base. Our Dating Story, a story of a guy who's never had a girlfriend, and a story of a girl who's had so many boyfriends that she doesn't know what love is anymore, making it work with each other. It's just the average wholesome romance of the season, a little faster paced than the conventional romances, but I don't mind that. I mean, at least we didn't have to wait a whole season for the nerd to finally hold her hand or something. Not gonna lie though, romance is definitely not the strongest genre this season. If I had to choose one genre that's going wild though, it's going to lead us back to square one, the fantasy genre. It's great, we got this anime called Tearmoon Empire about the French Revolution. I'm not kidding. Basically, the anime starts at the end of the revolution where Marie Antoinette, now known as Princess Mia Tearmoon, is being executed by guillotine. As this happens, she's tossed back into her kid body and tasks herself with the mission of using her future knowledge to prevent her own oncoming death, utilizing the power of moe and scary levels of reality manipulation only known by Sid Gogano to make allies of the people that built up to her death and set up infrastructure to ensure her survival. It's actually really fun despite sounding stupid. Of course, along with something as lighthearted as that, we've got edge upon on edge. Ragna Crimson is about this guy who just doesn't get killed when dragons terrorize humans, but also can't really fight them until his future self gifted him with the power of the ultimate dragon slayer or something, and then he slays dragons along with the queen of dragons named Crimson or something. I don't know, I'm going to be honest, I thought that based on the first episode it was actually going to be a crazy hit, but the more I watched it, the more I just asked myself, why am I here? The Action Shonen front actually got 2 new additions, one of them being from Shonen Jump, so it was bound to be great. Undead Unluck definitely didn't disappoint. I honestly thought I was getting disillusioned by the Action Shonen genre when I saw myself not enjoying Jujutsu Kaisen, but Undead Unluck is some of the most fun I've had in the genre in a while. The inventive use of powers and the build-up of how it works is very well thought out and makes complete sense. The concept of rule negation makes every power easy to understand, but also leaves enough truth for it to be used super creatively in ways that we wouldn't usually expect. However, the other action shonen of the season was a bit of a disappointment. It's called Shy. It's basically a superhero anime, but the main character has social anxiety and is trying to grow into her role as a hero. Theoretically, it should have been a good show, a great she's just like me for real anime, and twisting it into an action shonen format should have been beautiful. But sadly, the pacing is way too crazy and the plot is all over the place. It's so ridiculously average that it hurts. I really wanted it to be good, but alas, it wasn't meant to be. Okay, we've got to find something to make sure that this video doesn't end on a negative note. Oh, let's see. 16-bit sensation. Oh god, no! I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, subscribe please, I'd appreciate it. The fall anime season has definitely been way better than I could have ever anticipated, and despite how many jokes I made about certain series, I definitely don't regret my choice to watch all of them. Also, about me watching all of them, I seriously did. I just couldn't possibly talk about all of them in one video because, well, I need to edit it within a week. There were a lot more that I wanted to talk about, like Ron Kamanohashi's Forbidden Deductions, playthrough of a certain dude's BRMMO live, and Butareba because I figured I could make some entertaining content out of them, but sadly, implementing them into this video just didn't work out. Maybe I'll make a couple of shorts about them. Anyways, I'll see y'all in the next video. Hopefully you click on one of those things on the end screen before the video ends. I mean, it's not like I want you to watch my videos or anything, baka. Jesus Christ, this is what I get for scripting at 1 AM, but apparently I get my good ideas at this time of night. Alright, bye.